Transitioning from primary school to secondary school is a significant milestone in a child's life. It's a journey filled with excitement, anticipation, but also apprehension. When speaking to children in Year 6, I discovered that they were looking forward to going to secondary school, but are afraid of some aspects, such as bullying and getting into fights. It was clear to me that they were afraid of feeling vulnerable. According to the Anti-Bullying Alliance, 40% of children had been bullied over the past year and 21% had been bullied daily. But you may ask, what is the cause of bullying? For the longest time in research literature, we thought that there was just one type of bully, a highly aggressive kid that had self-esteem issues that may come from a violent home or a neglectful home, says Dorothy S. Pelage, a professor of education at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I believe that this is the general consensus of what makes a bully, but more recently different theories have arose. Socially dominant bullies want to be the leader of the crowd, says S. Pelage, and the way that they do that is push kids down the hierarchy. Children going from being top of the food chain, so to speak, in their primary school to the youngest, weakest, more vulnerable students in the school, which makes them vulnerable to other students who want to punch down the hierarchy. If you consider this and the initial description of what a bully is, this can potentially create a vicious cycle of the bullied becoming the bullies. Different to the children of the 80s, the current children of today can't truly escape bullying due to cyberbullying. There has been a large influx in technology over the past few decades, with increasing dependency coming from us as a society. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, or rather the CDC, the average daily screen time of 11 to 14-year-olds is 9 hours a day. Some people believe that the pandemic had a great effect on our dependency increase on technology. It was found that post-COVID attendance has dwindled in schools, that pre-COVID, 13% of children lost 10% of their lessons, but post-COVID, that is now 22%. All these elements together are a perfect storm to compose low self-esteem. Low self-esteem in children can have dire consequences, such as becoming a bully or other more serious consequences I won't mention. So you may be asking then, well, how is it prevented? Well, in this situation, it is very important that children are aware of how to preserve their self-esteem. There are many methods of doing this. Some use some techniques from cognitive behavioural therapy, which includes having to provide evidence for irrational negative thoughts. And mindfulness is one that a lot of parents like to use with their children. Children can also benefit from becoming familiar with school staff prior to the transition to secondary school. This provides more support to the child and the ability to report back any behaviour which has been detrimental to the child. But there are some other issues that lie within this transition as well. Some children adapt faster than others, and for some children, a new school with new peers, a new ethos, and a new uniform can be overwhelming and will take some time to adapt. The best way of dealing with this is to allow the child to be aware of upcoming changes in their routines as soon and as thoroughly as possible. For some children, adapting is particularly difficult. Children who are neurodivergent struggle greatly when it comes to secondary school, as a new routine may come as a new challenge. Being surrounded by new people can make this a challenging forefront for these children, and having to adapt to being surrounded by people who are strangers can be difficult. It was found in a study that 1 in 4 children with learning difficulties were threatened or physically assaulted in secondary school. Isolation and alienation can cause major problems for children with autism or even neurotypical children. Blended learning is a really good way of allowing a child to become more familiar with their environment and the way that it works. Many teachers use blended learning, and there's many different techniques. There is the flex model, the rotation model, and countless others. In conclusion, the transition from primary school to secondary school is a difficult one in any child's life. It raises questions for the children's identity and their sense of self, and even relationships. Things change and the children learn to adapt. I think that plays a key role in how they carry on adapting and learn to adapt in later life. But that's just my opinion. If there's any feedback that you'd like to give me, it would be greatly appreciated, and just leave a comment. Thank you very much. Goodbye.